So I've been trying to do a video for, it's been like about 7 hours now, and I just realized how hard and difficult sometimes it is to do a video when you're alone, because for the kind of video that I want to do, it requires someone to carry the camera for me and just follow me wherever I want to go, but it's not going to be possible. So it's like about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I've been trying to find a way to actually do this video, but it's been it's been challenging, and I'm gonna try and do it my way. So this is just gonna be another uncut, another unscripted, another, I don't know, behind the scene type of a video, and let's see how it unfolds. So as I was busy preparing to do like this minimal informal setup, so I was looking out for my lights, the lights that I normally put on my softbox to do the shoots for you guys. So this is a normal light that you can actually use in your house. I think it's similar like to what I have here in my living room, and then it's actually one of the lights that's on the softbox right behind the camera. But then I remember that I have this light that I bought I think about 2 weeks ago, and this was from the Chinese market. So I haven't actually used this light, so I just want to see how it's gonna look when I put it right behind on the other softbox. So since, well, this is an informal video, so you're gonna have to excuse me a bit, because we're not doing anything formally. This is supposed to be a preparation for the actual formal video. So I just switched on the light, the bigger one at the back and this one here in front. So I know you guys can't tell the difference from just looking at me on the camera, but then this light here, which is right behind the camera, it's the same light as this one, which comparing with the one which is behind it, this one in front looks a bit warmer than the one which is behind, which is like a cool white. So let's see how it looks when I go behind the one that we just bought. So excuse me a little bit, the camera is a bit out of focus. So right now I'm in front of the cool light, which is okay. I guess it's okay. I guess it's okay. And then this one here, let's see if it has a difference. So I'm sure you can tell this is warm, and then this is white. I'm sure that you can tell the difference. Cool white. I don't know what I'm saying. So this is warm white. I'm sure you can see that my screen, my face changes a bit to be like warmish, and then this is cool white. Cool white versus the warm white, which is the two different lights. But then what happens if I'm just in between? Then you can see this light hitting me here is warm, and then that one over there it's white, which I think I can work with both lights. So the focus of this video will be mainly on the internet. Lately I'm starting to realize how internet has become so much important in my daily life. Like almost each and everything that I do, or 2 out of 5 things that I do in a day, they require internet. So I decided I want to do a video basically showing you guys how many devices, or the kind of devices that I have, that I can actually have them connected to the internet, and they can actually work for my good, and they are beneficial to have them. So, but then because this is just behind the scene, I just want to show you where it actually all started, the type of internet and services and devices that I've been using to actually get internet access or internet connectivity. So I remember while we were still in college back in 2010, and then I happened to get the second computer from the front which was the computer that had so well, back in the days while we were using, because it was college computers, basically you wouldn't have admin rights to install or uninstall anything on that computer. So whatever you find installed there, that's what you're going to work with. So if you would remember, back in the days, you would have Internet Explorer, which every now and then will need to be updated to Explorer 6, 7, 8, up until today where we have 11, and it's now being replaced by Edge. But what would happen is it will constantly require you to update Flash Player, and there's some Java, whatever Adobe application that you need to update. If you don't have that, you are not going to be able to watch your YouTube video. So each time you click on the video and you want to watch it, it will ask you for the Flash Player to say update, and then when you click on update, it will allow you to click on update, but whatever for you to install it, it will ask you for an admin password, which we didn't have since we were just students. So but my computer had that up to date, and it seems like I was the only, I think 3 out of the rest of the computer in the room, they had YouTube, and I think everybody will fight to get my computer so that they can watch YouTube video. So that's where it all started, and then from there I was like hooked up until the guys gave me I remember Dell Latitude, one of the old computer that was running Windows XP. That was in 2011, I think late 2011. Then I got to take it to my place, and I had internet, and wow. You know, back then the speed didn't really matter. The quality of the things that you were doing really didn't matter then. So they would give us the card, which is called, I just don't know the name of the card, but I think it's the HSDPA plus something. I will link the name right here, the proper correct name right here. Basically, that was the card that I had, that I took home, that you will plug it directly into the laptop, and then you will set it up for a connection, and then you'll have internet. And then things evolved, and then I'm sure by then we had like USB, because I think the next thing that I had was this guy here, not this one in particular, but the dongle. This is the dongle, 3G dongle that you actually put in your this is your normal size SIM card, and this is what you actually put in here. And you can also put in a memory card, and you can also put in an antenna if you want to increase your signal strength. So I remember I had a white Cell C1 that had like I think light here, similar to this, that had like a light here, that if it's not connected, it will be red, and then if it's searching for the network, it will be orange. If it's connected, it will turn blue, and that's when you know that you are connected. And it will have that app that will show you that your data is running out and all those kind of things. And yeah, I think things were good then. I mean, that's all that we had. And then up until 2012, when I decided to get ADSL. So 2012 I got ADSL, and that was through MWeb. So I went to Telkom to get like a landline for telephone, so that they can convert it into ADSL line. Then I actually got the ADSL itself, which is the internet, from MWeb. And I remember they brought me this is a D-Link router. It's supposed to have 2 antennas here, so they brought me this as part of the package that I was buying. I remember I was paying Telkom, I think 159 Rand for the line, excluding the usage. So to have an active line back then was 159. I don't know how much it is now. So basically you'll get a Telkom line or a telephone number that people can call you on, and you will pay 159 Rand just to have that. If you make a call on that, it will be an extra charge. So yeah, that was it. And then MWeb, I was paying 199 for the internet itself and 149 for the ADSL line. So which means they converted the Telkom landline into ADSL. That was through MWeb. So the total was like about around about 510, 490, somewhere there. So that's what I was actually spending. But the catch there was the line was only 1 meg line, so that was the speed. So I would actually get like about 300 kilobytes per second, and at some time I will get less than 100 kilobytes, and it was enough then, because I didn't care about HD or 4K or anything, because I was just using old. I remember then I bought myself an HP laptop. I don't even remember what was the specification, but everything was like enough for what I had then, so I wouldn't complain, and I'll just have this thing connected. I mean, as long as your internet is uncapped, there was really no worry or anything for me to complain about. But trust me, it had its own downside and stuff and all those kind of things. I didn't have anything else to compare with, but I remember in the office, the company that I was working for by then had 2 lines which we can connect to. So I think I used to do some of the downloads there at work and then bring them home to watch. And then when I get home, just the internet that I have at home was just for my streaming and WhatsApp and chats. That was it. So 1 meg was enough. And then up until I move out and move to this place that I'm living in currently, that was back in so I actually used this thing from 2012 until 2016, so for like about 4.5 years plus minus, somewhere there. I used a 1 meg line, which I think around where am I, around 2014, I got another laptop and I started to see that this was no longer the it, but then I didn't have enough resources to change and all those kind of things. And I used to balance between the work 3G and this thing, but this used to keep me connected all the time. And then up until I moved into this apartment where I actually got in another 1 meg line. That was in Neotel LTE. Yeah, it was another horrible service that I had back then. So even the time I was actually getting the contract, the guy told me like, no, dude, you're just wasting your time. A month from now, you'll come back and say, I must upgrade the line. So I didn't actually upgrade. I actually left it, and I used it for 2 years from, for a year. From 20, no, how long was it? No, I used it for 2 years. Yeah, I used it for 2 years. From 2016, late 2016 until, when was this? Early last year, early 2019. That's when the actual product that I had was discontinued, and then they had to close my account. So I used it for more than 24 months. It went to be month-on-month, month-to-month contract, which I was paying $4.99 for the uncapped 1 meg line. It was not really a great thing to have, because by then I had a now a smart TV, which now required things to be connected on, which it was not really that good, but I was okay with it for that period. And then once it's disconnected, I moved on to this one here, which now my fiance is using it. So this one is also an LTE, which basically you pay like $900. It's uncapped as well, and you get 10 megabytes per second speed for the first 150 gig. So for the first 150 gig usage that you have, you'll get 10 megabyte per second speed. And then from there, after you pass your 150 gig, it will throttle you down to 4 megabyte per second. And then from there, it will throttle after 200 gigs now. So from 150 to 200, it will throttle you down to 4 megabyte per second. And then anything above 200, you'll get just about 200 megabyte per second. So that's on both upload and download, and you can imagine. So it got so crazy. So I think the first 5 to 10 days of the month I'll be happy. I'll switch on my TV and everything will just be smooth on 4K. Then you'll start to see, when you turn to Netflix, YouTube, at least Netflix will start being blurry, and then eventually it will change to, I think, 720 to 1080p. But then YouTube won't play that game with you. It will start on 480, and then sometimes if you like, it will take you to 720p, and you can force it to go to 1080, but then you start to buffer, and for you to watch a 5-minute video, it will take you 20 minutes. So you don't want to do that. If you take it on 4K, just come back tomorrow and watch it. So yeah, that was another frustration. So, and then I was in the motion of actually getting, everything to be wireless connected, and then to be just to be minimal. So I tried not to have any other device connected to the TV apart from the TV itself connected to the internet. But then the internet that I have was not really serving the purpose, because if I plan my schedule to say after work I'm gonna get home, I'm gonna watch this and watch this and watch this, I must be able to do that in a given time. So imagine if I have to wait for some minutes for the thing to buffer in order for me to complete what I'm supposed to watch. So a 20 minutes video will end up taking you 35 because there's a buffering time in between. And imagine it's buffering on the advert. You can't even skip while it's buffering, which is a challenge. So, and then what happened is, eventually in this very complex that I'm living in, they came in and put in the fiber. That's Metro Fiber is the fiber provider. I'm sure you guys, you know more about fiber, but just a little background about the fiber. So there's what we call fiber provider. Fiber provider is the company that installs fiber in the premise. So they will have infrastructure probably to your apartment or to your house or to your office. And then there will be the internet provider that will run internet on that fiber that was provided probably by another company. So basically it doesn't mean that you have to use Metro Fiber as your internet provider. You can use somebody else. You can use Vodacom, Telkom, whoever is providing the fiber service into your premise you can use. And so there's also a downside of having different provider providing fiber, they're the one providing internet. In my case, when it started, and what actually forced me to have LTE in the meantime, is because earlier last year they told us the fiber is coming, but then it took long for the fiber to be installed here. It also took long for it to be activated. It took long to get into our apartments. So I think around end of September, that's when it was completed, and I started using mine end of November. So what happened is Metro Fiber actually closed for other internet provider to use the infrastructure in the complex because they wanted us to move to them, and which is, I don't know, it's a selfish move, and they kind of like make the infrastructure to work best for them than everybody else who's using a different internet provider on their fiber infrastructure. So you would go to the internet and search for a different fiber provider and give them your address. They wouldn't find anything because Metro Fiber has closed them. So that was a selfish move then. Eventually I found the service provider, and you guys can guess, it's a company called RSA Web. The reason why I chose them is because of the packages that they were offering. And then they were offering 100 meg per second, that's upload and download. So that's a decent speed for somebody who has a lot of gadgets connected to the internet and who wants to stream high quality content. As you can see behind me, those are the one of the high definition videos that we have there. So it's the kind of things that will require you to have faster internet. So what happened is I ended up choosing that 100 meg, and firstly it was going for, when you check on the internet, on the website, it was going for like 999 for 100 up, 100 down, which when I inquired, they said like, no, we do not have that package that will work with Metro Fiber. So there's kind of like some limitation, which I still don't get what happens in the background if you say I cannot have the package that I'm choosing because of the fiber provider. A Metro Fiber doesn't allow this. So I ended up choosing the same package of 100 meg, but the price was a little bit higher, which is like about 1.3 for the same package. So basically that's what I'm using right there, and my setup is kind of like complicated at the moment. I'm going to try to show you guys how it looks, and yeah, and that's actually how I managed to get everything connected, which is going to be covered on my next video. So an informal setup of my thingy of my internet or my router, where it's actually located. So yeah, I don't want to show you guys other messes that I have here. So basically this is where my internet is. So this is the fiber cable, that one bit. This is the fiber, that's what we call fiber. Then it comes in here into the this is the fiber terminator, terminates here, and then with this cable here that comes into the breakout, and then the breakout goes into the router, which is that TP-Link there. So I know the setup now is a bit chaotic, and because it's sitting right in the kitchen, right in front of my fridge, so this is actually not the best practice, but we can work with this for now. So basically this actually forced me to have everything wireless. So yeah, that's it. So having that router sitting there, it forces me to have each and every device in the house to be wireless enabled device. So the only challenge that I have now is my old desktop, which I have in the spare room, which I'm using sometimes to edit the video. It doesn't have built-in Wi-Fi, so I have to either create the project there, copy it out through the drive, and then connect it to my laptop and then upload it, which is a lot of work. So I'm looking for a Wi-Fi adapter. If you have one that you're not using, please hook a brother up. I will really appreciate, but I'm actually looking into buying one. I think I saw one on Takealot for like 120 bucks, which I'm gonna buy very soon. Yeah, so basically that's it about the internet, guys. This is just to prepare you guys for my next video, which is coming. This is was unscripted video, so my next video is gonna be probably on Tuesday, which is gonna sort of entail like a wide spectrum of the devices that I have in the house, which are mostly or should be connected to the internet, and which actually leads into me having high-speed internet. Yeah, I will actually show you guys the actual speed on the video that I'm gonna do for you next week, showing you my different devices that I have connected, or that should be connected to the internet. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning. I will definitely see you on my next video. Please make sure that you subscribe if you haven't, and like this video, drop a comment if you have any, and I'll check you on my next video. Bye.